Have you ever watched someone realize they played themselves? My wife Megan started tracking my phone about 2 years ago, right after I got promoted to project manager. She said it was for my safety, and honestly, I was touched that she cared so much. When she asked for all my passwords next, she looked me straight in the eyes and said, "Healthy marriages don't have secrets." The way she said it made me feel guilty for even hesitating, so I handed them over without thinking twice. Once she started working from home, she took over handling our mail because apparently I wasn't organized enough with our finances. Then I realized my mom hadn't called in weeks. When I mentioned it, Megan rubbed my shoulders and explained she told my mom I needed space to deal with work stress. My brother's texts dried up too. Megan would get this concerned look whenever I brought up my family going on about how families could be toxic without realizing it. She made it sound like she was protecting me. The lunch video calls were when my coworkers started giving me looks. Every day at noon, Megan would text me to set up my phone and I'd eat my sandwich while she watched through the screen, commenting on every bite. "Too much sodium in that turkey. You need more greens." I'd laugh it off when my desk mate raised an eyebrow, but inside I started dreading lunch. Then came the life coach. Megan's eyes lit up when she talked about him. "He's teaching me how to help you reach your full potential," she'd say, practically glowing. I worked overtime every week to cover those sessions, telling myself I was lucky to have someone who cared enough to invest in our marriage. When my friends stopped calling after too many declined invitations, Megan would pat my hand and remind me they were just holding me back anyway. 3 months ago, everything changed with one meeting announcement. My company said I was up for a senior position that needed security clearance. I told Megan about it over dinner while she smiled that strange, tight smile I'd been seeing lately. The background check was thorough. When HR called me in for a private meeting, the director slid a stack of papers across the desk. "We found $47,000 in credit cards opened with your social security number at addresses you don't recognize." The room started spinning. The security guy came in next with my phone, plugging it into his laptop. 3 hidden apps were running in the background, tracking everywhere I went, recording my calls, even logging what I typed. When he asked if I felt safe at home, my mouth went completely dry. They walked me through everything like I was in a fog. Megan had used those passwords to open credit lines, changing all the contact emails to ones she controlled. The company lawyer pointed to charge after charge for life coaching sessions, wellness retreats, spiritual mentorship programs. Then one description made my stomach turn. "Intensive therapy for controlling toxic masculinity in marriage." She'd been paying someone to teach her how to fix me. The company security team moved fast while Megan was at her Thursday session with that life coach. I stood in our bedroom watching strangers pack my clothes into boxes. They'd already filed the emergency protective order and frozen our accounts. Megan must have known something was wrong the second she walked in. My phone exploded with calls and texts, first crying voicemails, then screaming ones, then crying again. "You're destroying our marriage over nothing. Everything I did was for us." The desperation in her voice almost made me feel bad until I remembered that $47,000. Her precious life coach ghosted her. She sent me screenshots of her messages to him going unanswered. He said I was special. She kept texting like I was supposed to help her somehow. The judge didn't even blink when he ordered Megan to pay full restitution. Her accounting firm fired her the same day the fraud charges were filed because who's going to trust someone with financial crimes handling their books? Her parents finally read the court documents instead of whatever story she'd been feeding them about me being abusive. Meanwhile, I got that senior position and the security clearance that started this whole mess. When I finally called my mom and brother to explain everything, they weren't even surprised. My mom said Megan had always given her a bad feeling, and my brother admitted he'd stopped texting because Megan had told him I thought he was a bad influence. I ran into Megan at the grocery store last week, and I barely recognized her. She was wearing a warehouse uniform, her hair in a messy ponytail, dark circles under her eyes. She started walking toward me, then froze when she remembered the no contact order. As she turned to leave, I noticed her shoulders shaking. All those spiritual transformation sessions hadn't prepared her for actual consequences.